Ben, good morning. This is Dan Smallwood with Tadlock Roofing. I'm on the roof at Prince Phillip Drive. I wanted to take a quick video and kind of let you see what I'm seeing up here on the roof. What happens to any and all shingles over time is the granules get depleted, and basically that they lose their protection from the sun. The asphalt gets dried out and brittle, and they also lose their adhesion to the shingles underneath them. And hopefully you can see it in this video, but if you can see some of these darker areas on the shingles, that's where the granules have been depleted. The dark color is the actual asphalt showing. Therefore, these shingles get dried out, they lose their adhesion, and then when you get wind gets up underneath them, and they either blow up or they rip. You can see this one, the edge, and that's where it always occurs in the beginning, is the edge, and then the entire shingle loses its adhesion. But you can see right here those dark spots, that's where the granules have been depleted pretty well. And again, I've walked this whole roof. There is quite a few sections like this where the granules have been depleted. However, with that being said, there's also plenty of areas where the shingles are still there. This one's lost its adhesion. This one still has good adhesion. This one's still decent adhesion, and it's always the edge where it starts. This one's a little looser. And if I went around, that would be kind of what we would see with the shingles on the roof. Some of them are gonna be more, have lost more of their adhesion than the others. And again, right here, this dark area, as you can see, the granules have been depleted. One place we see that happen sooner than in the field is on the ridge cap. However, the ridge cap on this roof seems to be in pretty good shape. It's aging well, I should say. Over here again, we have some of the dark areas where the granules have been depleted. Up here on the top ridge, again right here, this is common because the shingle's been bent. That's where a lot of the granules are removed in the beginning. Again though, there's still adhesion on these shingles. Again, I'm not trying to pull them up real hard because this one's loose. This one still has adhesion. This one's a little looser. And that's really the tune over the entire roof. Now you can see right here where these shingles are missing. That's where the wind got up underneath a brittle shingle, blew it up, and actually ripped it. Now here on the north side of the roof, again, hopefully you can see it in this video, but some of the corners are already turned up. That's a combination of the shingle being dried out, and then this kind of north side of the roof probably took a little bit more wind than the other sides. And there's not a hip over here to block this area, but you can see right here, the shingles lost its adhesion. It's moving up, this one as well, but you can still see some of the shingle has its adhesion, but the wind got up under that corner, and that's normal. That's how it always, the age progression happens on these shingles. These still have adhesion. This one's up a little bit, but still has good adhesion. And again, this cap is in good shape. So with that being said, and this is the same side, the other side are the same kind of issue. You have some of the areas where there's more granules missing than the others. But again, you still have decent adhesion. This one's loose. This one's all right. This one's all right. This one, the corner's a little loose. And again, this one's looser than that one. But that'd be, again, if we go around, we're going to see that be consistent on the entire roof. With that being said, that's just normal wear and tear for a roof. However, a storm like the one we had will obviously, speed up the aging process because of the strength of the wind, as well as the amount of rain. So it really boils down to whether the homeowner wants to file a claim with the insurance company. I guess there's no guarantee that they're going to replace it. I think this would be a candidate for having the roof redone. But again, we try not to go on, predict what these adjusters are going to say, just because it's a very slippery slope and they have final say. They'll take our advice or take our inspection, but it's up to them to make the final decision. And also the homeowner has to decide whether he wants to file the claim, have that claim on his record, or if he wanted to wait a year or two. I would say this roof has a couple years left on it. It's getting near the end of its useful life, but it's not at the very end. So like I said, it could be a candidate for being re-roofed. That'd be up to the adjuster and the insurance company. Again, here you see these dark areas, so you can see that that's on, quite a few areas on the roof. And what it is 25%. If they believe 25% of the roof has been damaged, then they have to replace the whole roof because that's part of the Florida building code. So again, and kind of to sum it all up, this roof is a candidate for having for being re-roofed. However, it also has probably a couple years, let's just say 2 to 3 years of life expectancy on it. And it's really going to have to be the homeowner's decision, you know, a financial decision, whether he wants to go ahead and file the claim now, hopefully have the insurance company pay for the roof. Obviously, he's going to have to pay his deductible, or he can wait a year or two, you know, maybe 3, and then replace it at that time. If he was looking to sell it, I think you'd find if you got, you know, 10 home inspectors or other roofers out here, they'd say the same thing. We just don't try to, you know, push the re-roof through the insurance. That's just a very slippery slope for us. So we just try to determine the condition of the roof, and then basically it has to be the homeowner's decision. Not all roofing companies are like that. A lot of them try to push through the claims. It's just something as a company we don't try to do, because again, it's a slippery slope. So he could file the claim. There's probably a good chance that they would replace it. I can't guarantee that. Again, he'd have to pay the deductible, or my professional opinion is this roof has about, let's just say 2 to 3 years of life expectancy left, barring any other major storms. Obviously, we've had a major storm that might speed up the whole process, or actually tear off some of these shingles, because you could see that some of these shingles have lost more adhesion than the others. Anyway, I'm going to send you this video. If you or the homeowner have any other specific questions, please let me know. Thanks again for having us out here, and have a great day. Alrighty, bye-bye.